Right, so we have decided to do the work outdoors because the house during the daytime is pretty dark and out here it's well lit, it's comfortable, so we're going to do it out here. We're going to drywall tape it and reinforce it with some hot glue, and I got this stuff, fantastic elastic, which is a Shoo equivalent, and I also had some Gorilla Glue somewhere, contact adhesive, so I'm going to use all of that, see how it goes. I haven't decided yet whether we're going to put our second body shell in it, so put all of that on and then sandwich it with another body shell. I don't think that's a good idea, but we'll see how it goes. So keep watching. Right, so you get 2.5mm Allen headed bit, and for you guys in the States, a hex drive bit. Again, lowest torque setting. Don't want to be stripping bolts or stripping threads. And you start removing these. Right, once you start taking these off, oops, I'm keeping them together. Yeah, so you know what goes where. So these ones are shaped like that and they fit in the front. Then the next two will be just under the windscreen and so on. You work your way rearwards. Aaron's wanting to do the work. Oh, by the way, these cars, this hobby is designed for children of 14 years old and above. Now, my son is 8 years old, but it's taken nearly 6 months to get him familiarized and get him to a safe enough level so that he can still use this, but still supervised. He's never ever unsupervised. So, you know, you do this at your own risk if you're letting loose children under the age of 14. I wouldn't advise it. It was a long and hard road to get Aaron to where he is now, but he is safer than even me. Right. Can you hold the body shell with one hand? Go on. No. Next. Across. Up. Yep. Hold the body shell. It's a fire. Hold the body shell, Aaron. That's it. Right, so you've taken those screws off. These just literally fall apart once they come off. You've taken all the right screws off, but you might have issues with the last two bits. So obviously they have more bolts that need to be taken off. Here at the sides, one on that side. These are different shaped bolts, and another one on this side. And I can already feel that it's becoming looser. go. And that is how I take that off. So it slides off of here. You getting this, Aaron? Okay. There we go. If you're having to force it, that means you're doing it wrong. It should come off with ease and with gentle, easy movements. If you need to jiggle it too much or force it, and 9 times out of 10 or 99 times out of 100 you'll find that something's not quite right. That's why you're having to force it. So when you put it back together, it goes together like that. So let's just lock it in place. I'm going to put the screws back in. Now, in order to not lose the screws and lose bits, I'm putting the bolts that I just took off back on. Not fully tightened, but just reattached. This way, you haven't got lots of different loose screws all milling about in the same box, and then you get them mixed up and confused as to what attaches where. So that is now safe with its different type of screws or different type of bolts, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. Now we take off the rear skid plate, which is a matter of taking these 4 Allen headed bolts off. Right, so loosen the 4 bolts. There. And again, it's up to you, but as I'm getting older, I tend to forget things. Memory's not what it used to be, so easier for me to just retighten the screws a little bit, or bolts, and then not have to worry as to what goes where. For me, that's good practice. That's the way I do it. You don't have to do it the same way, but there we go. And now this is ready. Now this is brand new, it hasn't been put on, but still you need to wash it, rinse it, dry it, and then clean with alcohol rub. I don't have any alcohol rub, but I found hand sanitizer, alcohol hand sanitizer, to be just as good, and I use that. Okay, so we're just covering up these holes. Now, ideal tape to use would have been masking tape or any low tack tape, but it's not going to be left there for an extended period of time, so I'm hoping that we won't have any residual stickiness or staining after it comes to removal time, which can be an issue with parceling tape, which is what this is. So we just gently apply it on. That's what you get with me. Right, so when you covering up these little holes, you only need tiny pieces of tape. Just cover up the hole, and if you leave a little bit overhanging like that, that's fine, then it's easy to peel off. Come on. Okay. And that is all the holes blocked up. So once you've taped up the holes, last thing to do is alcohol rub. Now I've missed 2 holes to there. Let's get those done. Once we have that done, we will be ready to begin. Right, so it's as they say, prior preparation and planning prevents bleak for performance. So any time you take to plan and prepare will ensure a better end product or better end finish. So here's hoping that we don't mess it up. Okay. Just need it to cover the holes. That's, you can leave it flapping about in the wind and it's easier to take off. Yeah?
Yeah.
So let's have it like that. Gone. Right, so it appears we missed 4 more holes. So I'm doing it like this, leaving it hanging on the edge so it's easy to take off. As long as the holes are covered, it's fine. There we go. These little bits flapping about, because this is stronger tape than I would like, but I have covered every hole. And now what we need to do is wipe with hand sanitizer. So let's get cracking. And this is how I'm doing it. Okay, so we put the hand sanitizer on and we're making sure to get every surface wiped down so we get any residual oils from our fingerprints or dust particles, any other detritus, but it's mainly to make sure that it's grease free, because if it is greasy or oily, the glue won't adhere to this surface, which is plastic, as we all know. It's non-porous and very slippery. Okay, so time to start sticking the drywall tape. Oops, I've just lost. Important thing is to fill up the difficult areas. So areas like this, where it's hard to get into the contours. So cut it into smaller pieces and then push to fit. Yeah. This is fairly sticky, so it's going okay. And now we can put a little overlap piece. So when you have gap like that, either move that across, or I've just got a small piece which going to overlap, which is fine. And there we go. And what you do is slowly work your way all the way around. Okay, so we push it into the contoured area. Make sure it is form fitted, if you like, and it follows the contours and lines of the body shell. Now this is a fairly sticky drywall tape, so it's quite good. I've seen people with drywall tape that doesn't stick, so I've got hot glue as well, which will help in gluing things down. So let's get that prepped and ready. It's okay, Aaron. Okay, so we're hot gluing just these bits for a little bit of extra support. Just a couple of drops like that. Okay, so this will give us the extra support and adhesion that we need to get this on its way. So we only want a little bit. So let's put a little drop down here. There we go. There we go. Now you don't want too much of this. Not necessary. A little bit will do. Yeah, look, it sets pretty quickly.
Wow, this.
Yeah, I like it. So we form fit it. This will need to be hot glued, as you can see, because it's starting to spring back up, and we want it fixed. There we go. Okay, so we want a bit of an overlap on each one, and then we use the hot glue to basically make sure it stays where we want it to stay. Okay, so next piece we're going to cut here. Okay, remember, just a second on each one. On this. cut. This has to be done like. Okay, so let's cut this down to size. What happened to the lights? Meh. Okay, right, so with the hot glue, I found it. I don't want big dirty beads of it, so I'm using this as a spatula just to spread it out a little bit, because I want it to be not too rigid and inflexible. You need it to flex. And then we can shape without getting myself stuck to it. So let's started laying down the drywall tape. It's going on quite well. Okay, it doesn't look neat, but it's on the inside, and I'm not going to be in it, so it doesn't really matter. It just needs to be stuck firmly, which it has. I've used the hot glue. I'm just going to finish off this section, and then we're going to leave the rest for tomorrow because we're running out of daylight and the video's already getting super long, and we don't want it to get any longer than is necessary. But this, I found, is the best way to ensure adhesion and that it follows all the contours and it's not likely to come off. So hot glue, drywall tape, and then Shoo glue or its equivalent. I'm using Fantastic Elastic and Gorilla Glue. I've used it before and I've got good results from it. So keep watching and please like and please subscribe. Okay. So, because we started so late, we didn't get much done, but we're off to a good start. We've hot glued it down now. Yes, it doesn't look like the neatest work, but I don't need it to look neat. I just need it to be bonded correctly and to be stuck to the body shell. Yeah, and then once we add the flexible adhesive or the Shoo glue equivalent, we're well on the way. So I'm just going to add more layers here to build up a bit more material here to give it a bit more rigidity, a bit more strength. I might add another layer, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to do, once we've done one layer of drywall tape, we're going to add the glue. Don't want to add too much weight to it either, so this is another consideration. So we shall continue with this in another video. So thanks for watching.